We have an amazing episode for you today, but first I want to tell you about Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast. Whether it's recording new podcast episodes, uploading existing episodes, editing, or more, Anchor gives you everything you need in one place to create your podcast from your computer or your phone and make it sound amazing. And the best part, it's free. Yes, Anchor is completely free. Anchor makes it easy to make money with a podcast without a minimum listenership, and will even distribute your podcast so it can be heard anywhere from Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and more. The podcast process has been so easy because of Anchor, and I couldn't have asked for a better experience right off the bat. I'm recommending Anchor to all of my listeners who are wanting to start a podcast. Be sure to download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started building your own podcast today. My name is Kristen Kubik, and you're listening to As Told Unfiltered, the podcast that dives deep into what it's really like running a business. The raw, the real, and the completely unfiltered. Well, hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of As Told Unfiltered. I'm your host, Kristen Kubik. So, we're talking about a subject I'm kind of actually excited. I say this every episode. I'm actually excited about all of my subjects, or else I wouldn't be talking about them. So, today we're talking about something really, really important because it really screws with a lot of people's mindset. And it's this crazy idea that people have to charge what they're worth. And I hate this idea. I hate it. I could say this 1,000 times over. I despise it. Here's why. There is no reason in the world that you should equate your worth to a monetary value. Now, a lot of people will argue that point and say, but you're not actually equating your worth to the monetary value. You're just saying that you should charge what you think you should be making and all of this stuff. The problem is, so many people start to actually use this in their lives. They start to feel that they're not worthy of such a price. They're not worthy of charging whatever price they think they should be charging, whatever price they want to be charging, and all of these other things. So then that comes into a mindset play of money mindset, money trauma even. Whenever we have all of these things that happen in our lives with money. Maybe, you had an issue where, I'll take myself for an example. I had a really nasty divorce where my ex-husband was taking a lot of my paycheck and I was living on pennies. Whereas he was actually supposed to be giving me money because that's how the military works. So it was actually really traumatic for me to be living on so little money that I couldn't even pay my bills. So that's not a money mindset issue, that's a money trauma. That had a really big impact on me charging a high price or what I would consider an affordable price because that was a price to where I could pay my bills comfortably and have some stuff to live on. So, that being said, you tend, whenever you tell someone to charge what they're worth, you tend to accidentally but maybe invoke this, you are equated to this number, or this tax bracket, or this, you get the picture. And when we do these things, it leaks out into the rest of our lives. And this is where it becomes an issue because your worth isn't tied to your prices. Your worth isn't tied to the number you have in the bank right now. Your worth isn't tied to if you have a savings or not, if you have a credit card or not, what's on that credit card if you have it, if, I don't know, you have cash in your wallet right now, if you have cash stashed under your mattress right now. All of these things, none of that's tied to how worthy you are. None of that is tied to the amount of abundance, the amount of love, the amount of business that you are worthy of receiving. And that's why I have such an issue with the phrase, charge what you're worth, because it's not possible. You, in my opinion, are worthy of everything in the world. You are worthy of everything under the sun, everything past the sun. You, if you want it, are worthy of the sun. So am I. All of us are worthy of whatever the fuck we want. And that has nothing to do with what you're charging. And a lot of this stems from, in my opinion, our inner child. But how much your parents loved you or didn't love you, how much they were there for you or weren't there for you, also has no impact whatsoever on your worthiness. Because regardless if they were there or not, whether they loved you or not, you are still worthy of everything under the sun. You are worthy to charge what you want. You are worthy to buy what you want. You are worthy to take the bubble bath when you want. You are worthy to, I don't know, wear the clothes you want. You are worthy to do so much. And your worth is also not tied to your spouse's opinion, the number on the scale, the number of Instagram followers you have, or the likes on the photo that you posted. We have to advocate for our own selves and truly believe that we are worthy of what we want to do, of the abundance that we want to receive. Because then and only then is it going to happen. And that is really the only way. So that's kind of the little rant I wanted to go on, because I really do feel strongly about this. This is one of those things that a lot of people say. I came from the graphic design world, and wow, is this a big thing? Because graphic designers will say all day long, charge what you're worth, charge what we're worth, because graphic designers fully think that everyone should charge at least a certain amount. And if you don't, you're shit. You're bringing down, the whole industry. And I fully disagree. My graphic design agency, my branding agency, it was founded on the premise of helping small business owners have great branding without having to pay the premium price because I knew they couldn't afford it. It was specifically to make sure that those specific people could also have really good stuff. And it had nothing to do with how worthy I was if I didn't charge thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, even though I knew my time could be worth it. Because yes, our time can be worth whatever we want or need it to be. But we are also still worthy if we choose, based on a conscious decision, not to charge what everyone else is charging or telling us to charge. So this is kind of just to get people thinking. If, you are a person who tends to say the term charge what you're worth, maybe this gives you a different perspective. Or if you constantly get told that, maybe this gives you a different perspective on why you constantly get told that, but don't feel like it's right. Or maybe you like what you charge and still get told that and really want to keep charging what you charge. Or maybe, doctors tell you you should lose some weight, but the number on the scale doesn't bother you because you can still run a mile. You can deadlift 200 pounds. or, anything you want to do because you still feel really good about what's happening. That means you're doing great, and that means you're still worthy of whatever you're doing. So I hope that this was helpful, and if you like what you heard, then I hope you'll subscribe or follow or whatever it is that you want to do. And I will see you guys next time. You've just finished another episode of As Told Unfiltered. High five! If you enjoy the podcast, please rate 5 stars on Apple Podcast. You can also find out more about anything you heard today on my website, kristenkubic.com/astoldunfiltered, including my membership. In my membership, you get 10% off all courses, monthly masterclasses, and even a group coaching Q&A session with me, where you get to ask me anything and everything about your business, all for an insanely affordable price. Check it out at patreon.com/astoldunfiltered, and I'll see you on the inside.